SCA Minhag of the Week, Life Cycles, the Sebbit. So, we spoke in the introduction about Sebbits, the general terms of what a Sebbit is. But now we're going to get into the details regarding the Sebbit. So first and foremost, when? When does a Sebbit happen? Now obviously a Sebbit, as we mentioned, happens on Shabbat. But for what occasions? So we know our general occasions, we have birth of a boy, birth of a girl, bar mitzvah, engagement, wedding. These are our generally accepted happy occasions. Do we have a Sebbit for each of them? So let's go through them one by one. For a baby boy, most of the time there is no Sebbit because there will be a Brit Milah, and sometimes there's also a Pidyon as well. And to have an extra financial burden, if you will, with a Sebbit sometimes can be too difficult. Plus it's rushed because you're preparing for the Brit Milah, so generally a Sebbit does not happen. For a baby girl, although in the past, okay, and it's sad, but in the past, the birth of a girl was not celebrated. Nowadays, thankfully so, it is celebrated, and usually there is a Sebbit. For a bar mitzvah, as well, in the past, there was nothing, and nowadays it's generally accepted to have a Sebbit. For an engagement, there's usually not a Sebbit because the family is looking forward to the wedding, but some families will make a Sebbit for an engagement and for the wedding. That is really the main time that a Sebbit is always made. And it's agreed upon by all that that's really when Sebbits began with the wedding. So now, when does the Sebbit happen? On all of these occasions. So obviously, if you're dealing with the birth of a child, boy or girl, it would happen after the birth. With a bar mitzvah, the Sebbit would happen on the Shabbat that the bar mitzvah boy is reading from the parasha publicly in the Knis, or on the Shabbat immediately following his weekday bar mitzvah celebration. For an engagement, if it happens, it would be immediately following the engagement. And now for the wedding. Does it happen the Shabbat prior to the wedding or the Shabbat after the wedding? So the original minhag is the Shabbat after the wedding, and it would be a Shabbat Hatan, a Shabbat of the groom, obviously the groom and the bride. So what happened? Why for many decades was it the custom in our community to do the wedding Sebbit, the Shabbat, prior to the wedding? That happened out of necessity. As people picked up on the custom of the honeymoon and leaving immediately after the wedding, and we'll get to that with the going away outfits at the wedding, where they actually went away immediately afterwards, and they didn't come back for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, whatever the case may be. So the whole fanfare and excitement associated with the wedding was gone, to have a Sebbit after the wedding. So the Sebbit was pushed back and done the Shabbat prior to the wedding. Now, as we see a return to the original, way of things, where they didn't leave immediately after the ceremony and right after the wedding, and people lingered around at least for a week. So now we're seeing the Sebbit returning to the Shabbat after the wedding. So these are our occasions of when we do the Sebbit in association to the happy occasions. We will talk about when the Sebbit happens on Shabbat in an upcoming video. Thank you.